Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Scal with Pop XP, and tonight we have the teen werewolf sensation, Mr. Billy Tucci.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that, man! Look at that!
Got my Wolfman statue back there, and
what?
Of course, I got my Wolfman toy. Look at this!
Look at you! Look at you with all your toys, and your action
the Universal
figures.
Monster series. Got the black and white version, of course, because you get the colored version, but. Of Lon Chaney Jr., Crayton Chaney.
What? Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Look at that.
Will you look at that? Will you look at it? Just look at it.
That is something.
Isn't it special?
Do you like sit there and Deb's like, put your toys away, Billy?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, when I'm done with my bath, Deb.
No,
you're like, got the Wolfman splashing around.
Yeah, I want that Wolfie.
So how was
that show?
You had day 20 though. Hey, how was Mr. Nolan? You were talking Wolfman. How was the stream?
Oh, it was so much fun. I haven't seen Graham in a long time. I think last August is the last time we saw each other, and man, we talk all the time on the phone, but we just we picked up right where we went, where we left off, and just expressing our mutual love for the Universal horror films and the Wolfman in general. That he's a big fan of the Wolfman too, and he's got a great series going on right now on his channel about 30 days of monsters, 31 days of monsters.
31 days, yeah.
And I had the honor of doing. He wanted me to do. I think he wanted me to do not Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein. I said I'd really like to do the Wolfman because I love the Wolfman, and
nice.
So it was great. And we had a lot of fun, and we went over, and that's why we're late. It's all my fault.
Cool. Yeah, and I think Graham will be joining us tonight, hopefully. He's got a few things to wrap up. Well, speaking of our guest host, holy smokes! Boom! Mr. Graham Nolan!
Hey, Niall.
Hey, how's it going? Great stream tonight.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Frank Amazing and I were watching it for a little bit while we were going over the schedule for November and December, rearranging a few things. But awesome. Welcome. Glad to have you on hanging out with us tonight. And without further ado, I'd love to let's invite our first guest on. Great friend of the show, great supporter, all-around legendary comic creator, Mr. Andy Smith. Andy!
Hey, buddy, how are you?
You guys look like brothers.
Hey, how you doing, Andy?
Doing good. I look like a smaller, thinner version of you.
That's true. We got the glasses and everything.
It's like a double
I want to shave my head right now. I feel like I need to buzz my hair. I already got my beard, I got the glasses.
It's freeing.
And I look like a small, beardless version of Niall.
There you go.
But then if I do that, I won't be able to have my 3 hairs whipping in the wind in my convertible.
Right.
I'll have to give that up. So, Andy, how have you been, man? Glad to have you back on the show. I think this is your 3rd or 4th appearance on here.
Yeah, something like that. I'm doing good, hanging in there, just, working away on the old First Man book. So, doing good.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
You've got this baby cranking away here on Kickstarter.
Yeah, put it up on Kickstarter because that's where I've done other ones. So, figured what the heck, put it back up there. It's First Man was a book I did in 1997 that came out through Image Comics, and it was a one and done. It wasn't meant to be because it said to be continued on the last page, but unfortunately, funding your own stuff in 1997 wasn't as easy, so it was one and done. But now
I remember that cover.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
So I thought I'd finish the story by adding 26 pages, so basically a full issue and change to it. And the whole first issue is going to be printed from back then, but it's all recolored. And I did what I call a Neil Adams, where I went in and redrew some of the faces from the art back in the day. So it matches with current stuff. And like I said, I'm adding 26 pages to it to finish out the story. the first story arc, you could say. So it'll be a 54-page book, story-wise. It'll be more than that print-wise, but
oh, nice.
With the
now this is this here is an example of like the remastering you did.
Yeah,
that's so you have the original and then the remastered image here. Wow, man, that looks amazing.
And the scripting's I'm going to actually re-script the first issue as well. Not take away the essence of it, but just, add a little more and maybe even trim some down. We'll see. So I'll wait till it's all drawn before I do that.
What year did that first one come out, Andy?
97.
Wow.
So this is the character you created when you were a little kid?
Yeah, I was like 12. I grew up loving Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel as in the Golden Age one, and then the Marvel Captain Marvel. And I always liked the, for Shazam, the Billy Batson to the hero. That's the basic gist. It's Luke Henry is a college student who transforms into Apollo, who is designated as, the first man title character. And
that's a great drawing for 12 years old, dude.
It is. Wow. And I'm trying to understand, because it definitely, from the neck up, we've got Billy Tucci's glorious hair from the early 80s, and then we have Graham Nolan's physique. I mean,
the head's too big for Graham Nolan.
That's true. I got a small head. I got longer legs though.
Yeah, that's right. Graham's tall.
That is a really good drawing for 12, I have to say.
Yeah.
So and then Monarch is kind of a Thanos type character, the big baddie. There's the lineup in proportion, so like height relationship, they're all accurate.
Cool.
And then of course you got the femme fatale Penumbra. Got to have the female in there.
Can I just ask a question? There's nothing wrong with this. Like, look how cool that is. Why do people argue about proportions and things in comics? How cool is this? Big badass muscles. I mean, amazing costumes, colors.
About the physique that the women are all
the
banging and the men
physique.
are all.
I mean, how cool is that?
Nobody really buys comics cares about that.
That's how we grew up, man. John Buscema, Jack Kirby, Neil Adams, stuff like that. I mean, that's how that was the influence for us.
Well, there's a word for it, people. It's called fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy some dude that looks like me in spandex.
Yeah.
Right? I would not feel safe. Not feel safe.
Not at all.
I'd probably be like, hey, you want to go get a pizza?
Yeah.
Now, the art in this looks amazing, and even the remastered work you did. I mean, what kind of, like, that whole process, how do you even go about that?
Well, the good part is, since I'm a hoarder and I have all my originals, I just scanned all the black and white art back in.
Oh, smart.
Oh, nice.
So I have all the original artwork from the book in 1997. So, yeah, I just scanned it all back in and sent it off to the colorist I'm working with. So now I do my fake Hostess ad like I did in my Jungle Lords book. I love those Hostess ads from back then. So got another parody Hostess ad in the book. And
the fruit pie's awesome. Mango.
Yeah. I did a pinup of Savage Dragon and First Man back in 97 that Eric ran in Savage Dragon, and I had that recolored, and that's going to be in the book. And
oh, nice. Is that in the campaign?
What's that?
Do you have that image here in the campaign?
No, it's not. I got to put it up in it. I didn't want to put it all up. I didn't have it back colored yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Are these commissions that you're doing too? Or those are already illustrated? All those covers and
those are examples. The sketch covers are already done.
Okay.
So the sketch covers, a couple of them are bought already because each sketch cover has a separate pledge level. So a couple of the sketch covers have been picked up, and then there's 11 by 17 commissions, and those are examples of an 11 by 17, and then there's different size headshots and stuff. So that I'll do as well.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So, these look great.
Little trading card size headshot.
Nice.
But they're actually tougher to do than I thought, drawing those little trading card size. So, and then, the bunch of sketch covers because see, that's the problem with the COVID era, not going to conventions. I usually draw sketch covers at home.
Yeah.
in free time, and I take them to cons and I sell them all.
Okay.
And all these sketch covers I started doing, and I've taken a few of them to cons, and I was almost sold out. And then I just started doing more for future conventions. But as we all know, there's no future convention. So I was like, I'll just make them part of the campaign. So,
Karen Burke says definitely has the Image Comics and Malibu Comics feel. I'd buy a Hostess fruit pie from Noombra.
Hey, Andy, what's the story and how has it changed from when you first created the character back in when you were 12 years old?
Well, I mean, the only thing that visually you can see the difference from when I made him when he was 12 to now. Yeah. There wasn't a huge ton of story with him back then. It was just more of a visual thing I did because I had that Marvel Superheroes role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
Came out back then, so I think I made him up for that. Story-wise, basically there's these 10 essences spread throughout the universe, galaxies, whatever. They're each inhabited on a different world, and Monarch is going around and destroying each world, kind of like Galactus, as he takes each essence, and he goes to the last one, but it kind of escapes away from him and makes its way to Earth and seeks out a suitable host, which is the Luke Henry college student character, to inhabit. So Monarch has to make his way to Earth, and he sends Penumbra kind of to do his bidding first to get him. This is all in the first issue from '97. And that one ends with that 2-page spread where she basically kind of takes him out. And then we pick up the new stuff, or the second part to finish it off, where there's some flashback stuff and some origin stuff. And then we finally get into the mix where Monarch and Penumbra and First Man all square off because he needs to get that last essence. And which once he does, he's pretty much unstoppable at that point. But there's something unique about the essence when it inhabits Earthling. Something about the genetic makeup of a human compared to the essences that the other 9 that inhabited other planets and stuff, that kind of throws a wrench into the mix without giving anything away, that makes it a little bit harder for him to defeat him. So, it's kind of, like I said, I grew up with the Captain Marvel stuff, and now this is the Marvel stuff that Jim Starlin did. And I love Thanos, that big baddie. So,
yeah.
I got no bones saying, Monarch's kind of like my Thanos type guy, wants to rule everything and take over everything. And I like the cosmic stuff. So, it all comes to a head in the book, and it wraps up with this issue. And if I want to do more, I can. But at least, unlike the first issue that came out in '97, it won't say "to be continued." It can just say "the end?" or something.
Nice.
So,
nice.
You finally had some closure to your character.
I wanted that closure. So that's the main point in doing it.
Now, let me ask a question here. Now, is this his costume or is this part of his being?
No, that's part of his being. That doesn't come off. So that's like Luke Henry, if you see the lineup of the characters, he transforms into that. So it's obviously not something he can just put on because he'd be tiny and small. So no, he transforms into that. So that's not like something that comes off. It's like Silver Surfer in a way. That's just the way he is.
Oh, very cool. I like that, man. This looks great.
Yeah,
this
looks really cool. Really looks great.
So I'll have the first cover recolored as well, and that'll be on the back of the book since there's a new front cover, of course. So
now, if this does well, right? I mean, so right now you have 17 days to go. You are, you're over halfway funded, but you're not there yet. So I mean, you get this going on Kickstarter. Hopefully, keep pushing it. If this thing starts to take off, I mean, would you consider doing another issue of First Man?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to. I'd love to just do this. I mean, hindsight's 2020, and you can't go back and change things. But another reason I finally got the push to do it is just it's that thing as you get older and stuff. And I was like, it's been 23 years. Even if I only did one issue a year, I'd have 24 of them now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm just like, I'm not getting any younger, as all of us. And I'm just like, I'm going to at least finish it.
Yep.
I've got to at least finish it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So
I love that
want to
story.
do that, and if I can do more, I'd love to do more because I love. When I got into comics and when I wanted to draw comics as a kid, I wanted to draw superhero stuff. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to draw, real life drama type stuff. I like reading that stuff, but it's not what I want to draw.
Yeah.
So, and I've been lucky enough to do all that superhero stuff at Marvel and DC. So, now through the past couple of years with some of the stuff I've done outside of comics, it has afforded me to be able to, do this because, we know how it goes. It's not like somebody's cutting us a paycheck to do this stuff.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Would you consider taking this Indiegogo next and doing an Indiegogo campaign too?
Yes, totally.
I would do it because, right, Graham, we've learned, and Niall, that there are people that will just shop on Indiegogo.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. And, look, I'll be honest. If it doesn't fund, it's going to Indiegogo. If it does fund, it'll go over there on In Demand, like Jungle Lords did, the one I did before this.
Yeah.
Jungle Lords Ultra was the first comic book Kickstarter I did, and it funded, and Indiegogo sent me an email and said, we'd like to put it in demand, so I did all that. So that's over there now. So, if this funds, it'll go right to Indiegogo in demand. If it doesn't fund, I'll just pull all the assets and.
Well, why don't you just do it? Like I said, you got 17 days to go. You're halfway there, so it's going to fund, right? So let's be positive. Say so it funds. Why not, instead of putting an Indiegogo right into demand, why not do it as an Indiegogo as a new campaign?
Oh, a new campaign. Yeah, I mean that's what I'll probably do.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that with the Jungle Lords because the guy emailed me. I got an email from somebody at Indiegogo saying, hey, in demand. So that's what I did. I think with this, let's say it funds right at the funding goal. I'll definitely start a new campaign in Indiegogo with it just from scratch. Okay. Because, if it makes the funding goal, I'll have enough. When I set the funding goal, I try to think about, all right, I need to be able to pay my colorist. I'm working with a friend of mine I went to the Kubert school with doing the lettering. He's, he went all 3 years. His name's Steve Dutro. He's a letterer now, or he has been since, we graduated. He designed the logo for me. So I want to be able to pay him. And obviously I want to make something for myself. So look, if it just funds at what I'm asking, which is like $8,800, I think, I'll make a little bit, but I'm not going to be rich. That's for damn sure. So yeah, I'll definitely go to Indiegogo and start it fresh. And if I do that, I'll probably boost the page count and stuff as well, because I don't know. It just feels like if I want to start it new at Indiegogo, I should add something to it.
If you take it to Indiegogo, Andy, for your fixed goal, keep it low.
Right. Well, and that I'll be able to do.
Keep it at $500 because as soon as you keep it like $500 as your goal,
right?
You'll hit that in a day.
Sure.
What'll happen is you'll kick in the algorithms at Indiegogo, and they will begin to promote your stuff on the comic related pages and in emails and stuff, and because the algorithms will read that as a successful campaign. Look how fast it funded.
Oh, right.
They don't know that it's only $500. They just say, look how fast this funded in an hour, and then those algorithms start to read that and they start to distribute the information, and you can reach a lot more people that way because you've already done it here. You've got your money, throw it up there and really let it work for you.
Sure.
That's true.
Great
100%.
idea.
Great idea.
I toyed with Indiegogo, not even doing a Kickstarter, but I was just like, well, Jungle Lords did really well, and I've got all the backers there. I'll just do Kickstarter. But, live and learn, move on. So
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to change, especially when you establish something and you've had a success doing something, and then leaping over to another area that is say new. And it's always a hard move to do because you establish in one program or another. So I mean, it's just the natural progression. And I think your talent, your art, your style, you do very, very well on Indiegogo.
Oh, thank you. And every day I'm just working on the book. So I've got the thing is when the campaign's I can't remember 2 weeks ago, but as of now I've got 3 pages left to go, and my art and the art's done on my side. Yeah. So it's it's going to be done for sure. I'm not sitting here going, well, now I'm just going to wait, and if it funds, that's when I'll finish it. Now I'm working on it every day because I just love doing it. So
yeah. Well, hey, out there, viewers that are watching this live and that are going to be watching recorded right now, please continue to share. I know you may not be a Kickstarter supporter. You may only support Indiegogo or vice versa. But remember, it's not just about supporting a platform. It's also supporting an artist, okay?
Yes.
And it's about supporting their product and what they're doing. So if it's not something you feel like backing, you can't back, times are tough, we get it, but you can always share it, all right? There's nothing wrong with sharing a campaign. So if you can, get on your Facebook, get on your Twitter, get on your Instagram, or any other social media platform you use. If you're a Twitch streamer, throw it up on your Twitch stream for a minute. But get out there and help share and spread the word of First Man 1.2. All right, and then help get it there. Let it get crowdfunded, and then let's get Andy over to Indiegogo.
I will do that.
Absolutely.
All right, and Andy, this looks beautiful. This looks amazing. I'm a huge fan of your artwork, and I'm hoping when conventions start again, I can we got to chat a little bit in Baltimore, but that was it. And now everything's shut down again. So hopefully, we'll get to meet someday again in person, and we all can hang out. But again, man, this looks great, and I love the idea that you took your first issue and you're bringing it back to finish it, right?
Yeah.
You're remastering, you put the time in, you're continuing the story, and you're setting yourself up to say, hey, look, if this is where it ends, it's where it ends. I'm at peace. Or you guys really liked it? Cool. We're going on another adventure. And that's a really cool setup, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And what I'd love to do now, gentlemen, is we have our next guests have just popped backstage. Andy, please, I hope you'll be joining and hanging out with us still.
Yeah, I'll hang out.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't mind.
So without further ado, let me welcome Sam and Alexia to the show. Welcome back, you super creators.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good evening. Good evening.
This is awesome for me,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
Hang out with Andy, with Graham, Billy, and Niall again. Alexia, I get to talk to her away so much. It's still a pleasure to see her.
Well, we're like, Alexia, she went to the Q-Bird school, and Andy, and we'll bring Graham on. Me and Billy, we're just a couple of has-beens, but what are you going to do? We like hanging out with people.
Hey, Graham went to the Q-Bird school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It all goes in order.
That's it.
Many, many years ago.
Many moons ago, I had the pension.
Yeah.
So how have you two been?
Black hair when I went there.
Oh, no, we've been working like crazy, man. Been working like crazy. Alexia has been just arting really, really hard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Arting. I like that.
Yeah, me too. That's great.
That's great. I'm arting.
She's arting real hard, man. She did a great cover for issue 2. We had to go to reprint on issue 1. So we got those in. They're sitting here in my home office right now in my little apartment, stacked up like all over the place. Got those in, so we're ready for future Kickstarters and events on that. And really now, I think you guys have this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
Gorgeous, man. Gorgeous.
Great book.
And been reaching out to a lot of retailers. That's been a big thing the last few weeks because I've been a little under the weather, so it's been calling from home and talking to folks. We've had some really amazing stores showing support in Texas and then down in New Jersey, of course, with Gotham Underground, who's been a real big supporter of us. And then the Collective down in Altamonte Springs in Florida, they've actually had to ship 3 orders of comics to them so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good problem to have.
I think we've sold 30 something copies on their shelf already for issue 1.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's great.
Which is way more than I ever thought we'd see.
Now, are you self-distributing to the retailers?
Yeah.
Great.
Doing everything here from my desk.
Middleman, good man.
Yeah.
And the thing is too is like I've had some people ask me about that because when you ship out indie books, people are like, well, we don't want to pay $10 for a book. I'm like, okay, well, how's $2.35?
Yeah.
Because when you get those bigger press runs, then just pack it all up, stick a couple of dollars on there for yourself after postage, and get your books in people's hands so people can read them.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Now tell us a bit though about this book, and actually more. Let's go back to how you and Alexia teamed up to create this book, because it's gorgeous. I mean, her artwork is gorgeous for the concept of this book. I mean, she nails it.
Yeah, and actually, I got to share something with her today because I had sent a little bit of art. Some of the pages I showed you earlier, Niall. Looks like she's having some connection problems.
Yeah, it appears she's having some connection problems. So.
I had sent Jimmy Palmiotti one of the colored pieces, and he's like, "Wow, this is pretty beautiful." I'm like, "Can I take a screenshot of that and send that to Alexia? She's gonna trip." And so that was her big rah today. She says she keeps getting kicked out. She's gonna try again. But anyway, how we got on this project, Alexia had done some work for me for some of the RPG stuff, the tabletop role-playing game stuff that I put out. And we have a closed Facebook group of writers and artists that I work with. And so basically when I have projects in there, I field them through there to see who's interested. If someone contacts me, other indie guys contact me, say, hey, do you know a letterer? Do you know someone who does colors? I need someone who's doing good horror themed art. Do you know anybody? And then I'll put that up there and send links to it. The one thing I do, though, because you get those guys who are like, I don't want to pay a lot. I'm like, well, these guys are professionals. You need to pay them. So, I mean, if you're telling me right now you don't want to pay them, I'm not going to share it with them. Pay your artists, people, because otherwise they work for someone else. And then all of a sudden you don't have anyone doing your stuff. But I had some concepts I wanted to pitch out. One of them was the story of the 47 Ronin, the Eiko incident, as a 12-issue limited series with squirrels and other squirrels as the anthropomorphic animals. And Alexia is a huge thing of all things samurai. Like, you could sit and talk Kurosawa movies with her, and she's going to probably
hopefully we will
keep better pace than anyone else. But she's really something on her samurai stylings. And so she jumped in right in the middle of me right after I posted. She's like, everyone back off, this one's mine. And so 47 Furious Tales became my first comic that I funded and put out. We're going to keep putting out issues until we get through all 12. And I'm really, really happy with the work she's done. She's kind of created a unique style specifically for this series. And that's one of the great things about her as an artist. And whether she hears this or not, I guess she'll beat me over the head when I misuse terms. But she has a really great way of identifying elements that need to go in. And so she took inspiration from like the old woodblock prints from the Edo period, and then took and referenced some stuff with Squarriors and a few other anthropomorphic titles, Usagi, Yojimbo, and things like that, and came up with this unique styling that she's done to put this whole book together. And as you can see over my shoulder here, the art for the first cover for the initial release, absolutely stunning. That's been a lot of fun to work with.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up your first campaign. Go ahead, Billy. I'm sorry.
No, so how did you guys meet?
She was at the Kubert School when a dear friend of mine, Brian Lee, was. And I've known Brian since he was probably 10. He used to come to a comic shop I owned. And I needed, when I first started my company, Snow Publishing, I needed artists because I can't draw at all. And so with that is a problem when you want to make role-playing game books and comics. And so he had put in the good word with Alexia about me, and Alexia didn't have anything scheduled that particular week, so she took a chance on the new guy. And we stuck to the formula that works, Sent her contract, everything was spelled out, paid her on time, paid her in real money. And we found out that we work really, really well together, and we've done a lot of RPG stuff. We've been working really hard on this particular title because I'm kind of learning as I go with regard to how to make comics. And I did some research and I studied up, the people you want to study when you're looking at making comics. So you go back and you review, Neil Gaiman, you read Tomo, you read She, you read Lady Jack. I went back a lot and reread, I should say, Aria from the old Avalon Studios guy.
Yeah, Brian Haverland and
Jay
Leto, or how do you say his last name?
Jay Anacleto, yeah.
Beautiful book.
Really, really great stuff. And the storytelling elements were very simple and very well defined. They made for real fun reading. And I wanted this particular comic series to kind of feel like a Kurosawa movie, I didn't want to use too much words. I wanted the action to tell a lot of the stories for it. That's the page 1 of issue 2. We're going to kick it off with a bang. That's the interior art. So we're really, really working hard.
Alexia, can you hear us?
Lex, you there?
Sorry, I had technical difficulties, as you can see, so I had to actually use my Cintiq, which has this fabulous filter on my camera, as you can tell. Because my phone just kept kicking me off the broadcast for some reason, so apologies for that, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. We're just talking about how fantastic of an artist you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You missed it all.
I did. I was messing with my phone the whole time. I was just like, dang it.
So,
it's been a real pleasure working with her.
Yeah. Now, Alexia, please tell us how it's been. So, it's been a while since you guys were on the show, and how has your career been going?
It's been very much focused on this project. I did something else for Sam quite recently. We did a series of goblins and hobgoblins for his RPG stuff, which is really a lot of fun to do because I get to explore digital painting a little bit more.
Oh, cool.
And I get to draw goblins and hobgoblins, which is a lot more fun than humans. So that was fun. And then after that, we hopped back on 47 Furious Tales issue 2.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one of the pieces I did for him.
Yep.
So that's a very different approach because that's all digital painting. You look at some of the folks that do stuff for, D&D, and you're like, well, that's amazing. Like, I'm a big fan of digital painting, so I try to emulate that as best as I can. Mm-hmm. But with 47, it's very traditional comics. Just I do my pencils in Photoshop, so that's not traditional, but I printed out blue line and then I ink it traditionally.
Is that similar to what you do, Graham? Do you do something similar to that?
I used to. I'm doing the Shinu entirely digital.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all done on my iPad Pro.
Get with the times, Billy. Get with the times.
I know, and I don't want you.
What about you, Andy? Andy, what's your process? Digital?
I pencil digital, and then I print it out in light blue, and I ink traditional.
Wow.
Oh.
So I like having the original art, and I like inking with the real brush and pens and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
I really tell you, I like being able to pick up original art pages. So, like, I was lucky enough to get the original inked page from the cover art for 47 Furious Tales from Alexia. She sent that to me.
That's cool.
So we're actually going to be making.
He always likes to show that off.
I love that piece. That's why I've been keeping it here, and I keep trying to hang it up, and nothing quite looks right yet. But I mean, one of the nice things about that from a crowdfunding perspective is if you offer some of those pages, then those are usually a really great campaign reward if you're willing to part with your pages,
Yeah. Now you guys had launched issue 2 back, I think, right before like the whole Corona thing hit, right?
Right as it really took off.
Yeah. Yep.
Great.
So that was not so great. But we've been in contact with our backers pretty steadily, and been able to work on getting the funding goal down, so that it's a lot out of pocket here, but it's important because you can't make comics by making one comic and then stopping. You have to keep going until people understand that you're going to keep doing that. So
you guys are launching tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we got approved. I'm finishing up fulfillment for Death Comes to Glenfollow right now, and Kickstarter went ahead and gave us the nod. So that's that we're gonna launch tomorrow. They literally just approved it last night. They got the email really late. It was kind of weird, and so we started sharing it out really urgently to get people prepped for it. Sent messages out to all the backers, and we're real lucky to have scheduled with you guys ahead of time. So it worked out really well.
Well, we're honored that you, want to come on with us.
Yeah.
I actually watched this show a lot since the first time we were on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I got I sat down and watched through with Pete Samedi on here, and I was like, oh, cool. Let's see what nuggets of wisdom Pete will drop on us. So that was a lot of fun.
Pete's a good dude.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to kind of scroll through like your previous campaign because you have some of the artwork and everything on here.
Yep.
So this is going to be, will this be similar to what we're going to see when this goes live tomorrow, or are you switching some things
We've
up?
had a little time to work on this, so let me send you a preview link.
That's fantastic.
I love this right here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my friend Paul Walcott. Him and I went to Kubert School together, and he was gracious enough to do a variant cover for us.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And now, Alexia, through my cataract eyes, looking at your
I'm real, guys. I'm not a ghost. I swear.
face. No. I mean, you're an incredible artist, both traditionally and digitally. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm originally from Amsterdam, and I grew up in a comic shop for the better part of my formative teenage years. That's where I kind of got really into getting into comics. I was always drawing before that, and my first comic was J. Scott Campbell's Danger Girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, back when Cliffhanger was doing their thing, you got Crimson and Battle Chasers and all that good stuff. So that's when I really got into comics, and then later with Angel Medina's run on Spawn. So once I started working in that comic shop, everything kind of just like fell into place, and I realized probably around junior year of high school that that's what I really wanted to do professionally. And because I was working at the shop and we imported comics from the US, I got to see a lot of the ads that are in the comics, and one of them was about the Kubert School. So it just kind of made sense to me that if I wanted to be a comic book artist for, the American industry, the American market, I would have to go to the US and learn over there at the Kubert School. Wow. So it took a little bit of time and effort and getting grants and all that stuff together, but I was very, very lucky and fortunate to actually go and attend and graduate in 2014. And, I made all these incredible friends and contacts, and all the teachers, they're all amazing. That school was really, really good for that stuff. And it taught me a lot about working as an artist. But I think the most valuable experience I've learned being a professional now was just being out of school and having to figure out how to live your life as a comic book artist, because it's such a different thing from being a regular 9-to-5 person.
Oh yeah.
So that's been challenging.
Yes, it is.
I mean, now I'm and I'm sure the rest of the panelists. I mean, we're huge fans of European comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what do they give them 2 years to do a 48-page issue or something in the real prestige format? What made you want to come to America to do American style comics when I personally feel, and let me know if you guys agree with this, that Europeans value comics as an art form far more than we do here?
Yeah, it's a general consensus, and it's true to a degree. Obviously, I grew up with European comics too. I got a little bit of the best of both worlds. I was very fortunate in that sense. I don't know, man. It just drew me more than the European books. I mean, I do have European comics in my collection as well, but for some reason, like just seeing those pages that Campbell did in 98, 99, the way that he drew those characters, I'd never seen anything like that before up until that point, and that just blew me away. So yeah, I guess it's just a matter of what calls to you, and that's what called to me. So again, when I saw the ad for the Kubert School, it all just made sense that that's where I should go if that's what I wanted to do as a living.
Very nice. Now, are you still in the States?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Sam, where are you from?
Originally from Mississippi,
And
But
MIS beside PBS.
I've lived or worked in 48 of the 50 states. So
Wow. What's the problem with New Jersey that's one of the states you never wanted to move to?
when I was in New Jersey the first time, I was there on a high threat security assignment. 2 of my colleagues were killed in action.
Oh,
So,
geez.
yeah.
Okay.
So that
All
was
right, there you go, Billy. Once again,
Yeah. Had to bring the room down, Billy.
I
Way to
know.
do it.
that was my fault. I probably should
Okay.
have said they were shot and left it at that. But
Awkward.
it was
Sam,
my
Sam
first-
knows how to bring down the room really quickly.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was not a great experience. I think it's really beautiful up there. But I live in Kentucky and have for many years. A lot of friends in the area. And I work for the state now, so for the last 5 years, and it's been really good to me.
That's cool.
Nice, man. Nice. So your campaign looks great. I was scrolling through while you guys were talking, showing some of the artwork and the levels you have. So what time tomorrow do you plan on hitting the big red button and going live?
I'm planning on hitting it at noon, which is
Nice.
a really weird time to launch a comic Kickstarter, but it works for some backers who are in Europe and in Israel. We have a pretty small fan base, but they're really devoted.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make sure that we schedule it so that as many of them can get in during waking hours as possible.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And then
Or if I
definitely
can watch
tag us in your post when you go live, and we'll continue to share it, through our
Yeah.
channels and everything. And we'll do that. So everyone out there too, when who are watching this live and watching this recorded, as long as this is active, I mean, please help push another campaign through your social media. You'll probably be seeing a lot of our threads having it once they go live with this campaign. It's a beautiful book. It's a very high quality book. I'm kind of kicking myself because my copies are not in my studio right now. Because last time you were on, I was showing off the quality of everything. But unfortunately, I can't leave the studio to grab it. But trust me when I say,
everyone's real surprised about the paperweight and the
Yes.
texture of it. It was something that was when I chose it originally. Alexia thought I lost my mind, but that heavy 130-pound paper with that soft touch satin finish makes a world of difference to the experience. People are always telling us, it just feels like there's so much to it.
Yeah, and it's well written. It's well written. So you have
Yeah.
great visuals that, like I told you earlier when you first came on. I mean, just the visuals and the concept of this book. I mean, everything just runs. It's smooth. Everything flows beautifully from the images to the script to even just the feel in your hands. So they definitely put out a really great product, guys.
We
And
work
personal
pretty
experience
closely
here.
together on these titles. Alexia and I do. We go over actually every panel, sometimes 2 or 3 times, to make sure we've got it where we want it to be. Because, like I said, we want it to feel like it's a Kurosawa film style comic, and it's been a real pleasure to get number 1 out, see how many people liked it. I mean, we sold out, so it's not too bad.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like you, Alexia. I'm a huge Kurosawa fan myself.
Yeah.
And samurai films, Japanese culture. I love the Japanese woodblock influences in the art.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
beautiful. I mean, you guys should be really proud of yourself. Beautiful book, and it's going to kick
Beautiful.
ass.
Beautiful. And I hope you guys stick around.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to bring on our third guest tonight, the fabulous Mr. E, who brings us the adventures of Captain Love. Mr. E, how we doing, Drew?
Hey, how's it going?
Glad to
It's
have
been
you on.
it has been a long day of promoting. I'm so excited to be here, though. I tell you.
I bet.
You know what? I can't help it. I'm gonna have to say it right out the gate. Billy, damn it! The way you draw women is just man. I am a huge fan of Billy Tucci, and he just knocks it out of the park with the way he draws women. It's one of my favorites.
Well, are you a fan of Teen Werewolf sensation Billy Tucci?
Yeah.
The teen sensation?
Everything I learned from how to draw women, I studied Graham and Andy. They posted me
No.
back in the day at the Kubert School. No, I never went to the Kubert School. I couldn't get into the Kubert School, and I couldn't afford it if I could.
I think you mentioned once that it was you did a lot of fashion design drawing, and I think that has everything to do with it because my love of female art probably comes from fashion magazines. So
Yeah. No, I went to fashion Fashion Institute of Technology, FIT, which was great.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you, Niall. And that's where I met my wife. It was awesome, dude, too, because it was 8 girls to every guy.
What?
Oh, see, that's the opposite.
And guys a day, and so I had it anywhere I wanted.
He was spiking up the front, combing that long mane in the back.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a buffet. A
Grant, no,
buffet.
you had that cooking.
Business front, party in the rear.
apparently it was a good place to go shopping because you got a wife on the deal. So
There you go.
He still does my shopping for me.
That kind of shopping? Really? That must be a fun relationship.
I want little, no, for clothes. I get my new clothes. Andy, you might get a kick out of this. Is
right over his head.
I get all my new, it probably is. I don't know. I get all my new clothes just before San Diego or in San Diego every year.
Do you really?
Yeah, that's when I get my new clothes. Maybe for Christmas too, because she'll go shopping. She's like, "Oh, I bought you this shirt. I want you to wear it," because she wants me to dress nice at San Diego, wear a button-up shirt. I can't, wear this because we're supposed to San Diego. So, you know how it is over there.
Oh yeah.
And so you see me. I've seen you there, bud. And I'm sitting there and I got a nice button-up shirt.
Oh yeah.
And like, oh.
Yeah, he gets 2 new button-up shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, 1 T-shirt, and 9 different Speedos. It's the weirdest thing. I'll tell you, though.
Yeah,
it all fits on his carry-on.
Well, listen, you can't wear the same Speedo every day. Scott Snyder's going to be at the pool every day. And I can't have Scott Snyder in the same Speedo every day. Got to change him up a little bit,
He walks by like, nice inkwell. You know it.
that is funny. That is just funny.
So, interesting thing. I apologize, Drew Love, for this one. But I just got another sweater. I just put it in. You ever see these Mexican Baja sweaters?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they badass?
Yeah.
Or they a little too hippie for you, Graham?
Too hippie.
I think they might be a little too hippie for me too, but I think they're cool. So I want to.
Now, are you talking
like
about the woven ones that are like basically like the late '80s surfer shirts, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I want a surfer sweater. I said, I think I want that.
Pull it over.
Yeah, it's got the hood. It's got the tassels there, and they look like a poncho with sleeves.
Yeah, those when you break those in, they're so comfortable, and they
Nice.
like it. They look itchy, but they're like the softest thing ever.
So are you officially retiring the Snuggie, Billy?
Yes. No, well, I'm sure come January when it gets cold.
His porch Snuggie. First thing, 7:30 in the morning, he waves to the neighbor in his Snuggie and his tea in the rocking chair.
Okay.
Do you really have a Snuggie?
I have a Superman one.
No way.
Hey, you want to see it?
Sure, absolutely.
Wear it. You should wear it. Dude, I'd be cool to have a Batman Snuggie.
We
Do
gave
you really? Graham, do you have a Snuggie?
Me?
Yeah.
No. But we gave a Snuggie to a friend of ours who was going down to Florida for the winter, and he was leaving, and he always gets cold. So he's a former combat Marine in Vietnam. we gave him a camo Snuggie.
Dude, that is
That is awesome.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Whoa, look at those pecs.
Look at you.
Nice.
There you go.
I have
Man
a
of
smoking jacket.
steel.
That's right. Look at those abs. Now Graham's jealous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic.
You had that on the ready.
there you
No, it's
go.
on a chair. I got it draped over a chair in my office. So
You get
Nice.
cold easy, Andy?
yeah, I'm a puss. That's why I don't live in Buffalo.
That's why you don't live in Syracuse anymore.
You're damn right.
Well, I was
You
gonna
already
say,
had the
Andy,
heat on.
well, I guess I should ask you to, if you want to go duck hunting with me out in Peconic Bay out in January, huh?
Hey, as long as I can dress appropriately and I know what I'm in for, I don't mind going outside.
You can wear that Snuggie. I think
I'll be wearing that Snuggie.
the ducks would never see you.
They're like, just hold the duck call.
Do they make camo Snuggies like like woodland camo and stuff?
Wouldn't surprise me if they.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have a camo Snuggie.
Mossy oak, mossy oak Snuggie.
That's what I was saying, Billy. The one I gave to the Marine was a camo Snuggie.
Oh, was it?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Was it like a John Wayne Sanjivio Jima USMC one? Remember, the spots.
That pattern.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah, it was more like a wood pattern, I think.
The woodland. Okay.
Yeah, like green leaves and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I love that, man. I do have a smoking jacket though.
Nice.
Now, when there's a smoking jacket? Is it like the Hugh Hefner style smoking
I can
jacket?
show
Or
it to you. No, it's a real badass. If you want to see it, I can show it to you.
What's
Are
it?
we show and telling
Yeah.
your jackets?
All right, hang on. I'll go get it.
you can't just brag and not show
Who
us.
wants to see my starter pullover?
Do you have it with you?
It's a New York Giants. It's got a big pouch in the front.
Do you really want to wear a New York Giants thing?
Just for you, Andy. Just for you.
Andy, I don't even want to wear a Buffalo Bills one anymore.
What are you talking about? The Bills are crushing it.
Are you kidding me? They just got killed the last 2 weeks.
What are they, 4-2? You
Yeah.
want to swap with the Cowboys record? Because I'll trade you.
I love this snuggie on you, Andy. I feel like you're right about to tell, like you're ready for communion.
It makes him look a lot buffer too, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I feel safe. Come on, bring it, trolls. We got Andy in the house. So while Billy is getting his smoking jacket, this guy unbelievable. Mr. E-Man, let's talk about a little Captain Love.
Sure. I love talking to Captain Love.
Captain Love, look at that. And you are funded. You got 2 days left on this campaign, so you'll be bumping right into the in-demand, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I have to decide if I'm going to do the 30-day extension. I still have another 30 that if I want to do it or not. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where it's only gaming the system to extend because you force yourself to wait on your money because you're funded, right? You can go in demand. And it doesn't change anything other than the presentation,
Yeah.
And then of course, Indiegogo still cares a little bit more when you're funding than when you're in demand, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also take less than when you're in demand. Their percentage is lower when you have a live campaign. When you go in demand, it's higher.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
thought it was.
that.
I thought it was 5% both ways.
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
No, in demand is higher.
Oh, wait, what is this? Deborah Steffens Tucci. We've
Uh-oh.
got the
Yeah,
link
that-
here for the camouflage snuggie.
Snuggie.
We've got the camouflage snuggie. Uh-oh, what
Yeah.
do we got here? This is looking nice.
Okay, so this is very from my
Wait,
neighbor
is it?
bought this for me for my 40th birthday, and I
Jeez,
only take
look
it
at
out
this.
on very special occasions.
It's got its own little precious sleeve.
Oh yeah,
too.
It
It's
was
double.
owned by a Japanese. I'm not even gonna put it on. I'm just gonna put
Oh my
the tape
gosh.
show it. It was owned by a Japanese fighter pilot after World War II or in World War II.
Oh, this is an antique jacket.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
And it's like one of my most prized possessions, but
Wow.
I do take it out. Yeah.
You spark up a stogie while you're
Oh, heck yeah, absolutely. I put some holes in it. No, I didn't put any holes in it. I got little stains and stuff, but
Well, those are
my
American
most
bullet
prized
holes.
possessions.
That's very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You said a fighter pilot?
It was a Japanese fighter pilot in World War II's. And look at the
Wow.
back. You gotta see the embroidery. As Alexia was talking, look at this.
Wow.
It's like
That's
a beautiful
incredible.
work of art.
Mm.
Wow.
Nice.
That is really nice, Billy.
Thank you, Nala. You can't have it.
It's no Superman snuggie, but
Oh
it's
no,
cool.
what happened to Billy? Now we'll bring him back. All right. We'll bring him back. I don't have any jackets to show anyone. This is weird now. I need a
You don't
jacket.
have your
or
starter
something.
Giants jacket or something?
No, I lied. I lied on the air. I don't have that anymore. I think I lost that back in 1999.
Yeah, I have a Knicks starter jacket. I can show you that, and a Miami Dolphins starter jacket.
Oh.
I had a Miami Dolphins too, and I wasn't even a fan of Miami Dolphins, but everyone had them around here. I was like, I gotta get one. Anyways, back to the book.
Sorry, Mr. E. Forgive me.
No
So the
worries.
adventure continues. Where did we
Yes.
leave off in the first chapter that brings us into the second chapter?
Okay, well, the first chapter, basically, this is the third campaign. So there is the first book, which was basically the backstory. Then the adventures began with the first chapter, the true adventures. So it's technically issue 1 is chapter 1, and then that basically took Captain Love to a discovery that people were trying to kill him, and he basically sets up the story arc for Rise of the Pirate King, which is a 6-chapter book. And so for each chapter, I'm doing a crowdfunding campaign so that I can afford to produce the books before I take them to the crowdfunding campaign. So chapter 2 is a finished chapter. It's done. You're guaranteed to get it, of course. And it will be what you would expect. If you are not familiar, I have high quality product. I get printed at Mix'em. These are this is bagged and boarded. And the book itself, before bagged and boarded, is high quality print.
Yeah,
it is excellent paper, and it is done at Mix'em, and it guaranteed to be the top quality product. So there's no doubts on that. And this campaign, if people were paying attention, chapter 1, I had an executive producer tier on there, which allowed people to back all 6 chapters and the final graphic novel at once. Obviously, I don't offer that on this one because you had to get in at the beginning to get to get the full deal. But I have posters on here and T-shirts, so you can still show your support for Captain Love and get some goodies that weren't available before. This totally exclusive. Like you're looking there, that's the cover artist, Henry Ponciato, for chapter 2. He did this poster here. That's Gene in Love. I really like his work.
I love this.
yeah.
He is a magic find. When I discovered his work, I was like, I've been having him do all kinds of promo stuff. He did this one too. This is the first depiction of Jean that's not on her trading card, and this is probably my favorite piece of art in my entire Captain Love collection. So it's amazing. This one was done. This one was done by Peter Gilmore. It's obviously a throw to James Bond, from Venus with Love.
That's cool.
Nice.
Little tongue in cheek. And this is Pat Maxton's poster. This actually is in color. I have a color version but I haven't uploaded it yet. And then what you're scrolling down to next to the T-shirts. That one is the off of the cover of chapter 2, a little bit modified, so it looks cooler on a T-shirt. And then that one is a slogan for the Captain Love theme song, which if you guys haven't heard, you must hear, because there's an awesome theme song for Captain Love. And then the third one is actually a T-shirt that was already existing since the first campaign, and then that's obviously tongue in cheek. All you need is love. So
fantastic.
Right. Yeah. And we're coming up on the 5,000 stretch goal, which will provide people a pin-up. And I'm hoping that we can reach the 10,000 stretch goal, so I can give everybody a button and sticker set. So I'm excited to see if we can get there. That'll be awesome. That'll be worth extending an extra 30 days to see if we can get that stretch goal. So.
Oh, very nice, man. Very nice. Looks very cool. It's so how many pages are we looking at with chapter 2?
Well, okay, so each chapter is from 24 to 36 pages, right? So chapter 2 is 24 pages. And it is $15, and that includes the shipping. So it is like all my tiers, actually, if you are living in the United States, the shipping is included in the price. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at the price, that would be like if you, like a lot of campaigns, you hit, you check out and you get the shipping price then. If you are in the United States, there will be no extra money there. If you are out of the country, out of the United States, then I deduct the shipping costs for the United States, what it would cost, and then the balance is all you would get in your shipping. So I try to make it really affordable. I really, really, really do. If I was like famous, you know what I mean, I would feel more comfortable charging. But Captain Love is my first comic book series. It's my, I have produced it. I'm guaranteed, I can say I'm a proven entity as far as the fact that I deliver high quality product. Everybody knows that now, but there's not everybody knows who I am. I can't make demands on people. So being a newbie, you still, basically a year ago, it was about a year ago, I was on this show, right? Promoting the first book. And, so I've only been, doing this for about a year, so I am doing my best. I'm trying to deliver everybody what I can, give them a great price point, try to make it irresistible. I have 128 backers right now. I would love to see that number climb as high as it can. You know what I
Good for
mean?
you,
So-
man.
Now let me ask you a question. You're a year into crowdfunding, right?
Yeah.
What have you? I think this is a good time to ask. Someone. What have you learned? I mean, throughout you are now in your third campaign. So
Yeah.
what have you learned throughout these different campaigns that are improving the
Well,
quality of your?
I would say that that there's two main things that I've learned since the first campaign that I think is invaluable. One is, if not everybody watches the video, but you got to have a good video, because if you have a good video, if you have something solid like that, it really kind of like sells somebody right away. I have seen, like, gone on a show with a few hundred people watching, and the video play, and as soon as the video's over or almost over, there'll be a couple of sales. You know what I mean? And so it's like I've from watching that, I've known that has gone really well. And the second thing is having a good featured tier. Your featured tier being a good tier, something that makes a lot of sense, that a lot of people will pick up. Because if you don't, the people will go past that and buy usually the first, the second or third tier, and you will lose what could be a better sale. So
Yeah,
I would say those are the two biggest things that I've discovered and that are important to remember.
Now, what about the social media end of things? Did you find that all of a sudden you're working a crazy amount of time just constantly promoting? Because you're doing this all yourself. You're producing yourself.
Yeah.
You're your own marketing team, everything. I mean, what can someone who's watching this live or is going to watch this recorded? I mean, they're sitting here working on their book. They're getting ready to launch. I mean, how do you prepare for promoting and selling yourself?
Yeah. I would say that I cannot claim to be an expert on that, because I am not the most dynamic personality. I'm a nice guy. I'm honest. I'm well spoken. But I'm just not a flashy dude. You know what I mean? Some people are just like, they're just a little bit more dynamic and wowing. If you got that, you're going to be golden. But if you are like me and you're not very dynamic of a personality, or if you're like some of my friends who aren't very good at promoting comic books, then you really have to find a network of people that will help you promote your book. Maybe they will, like, fill in the blanks when you stumble. Maybe they will be the ones that you can count on to retweet and share. You really do need a network. I find that Twitter and YouTube tend to be really good as far as awareness. You know what I mean? And I've probably gotten more sales out of doing these YouTube shows like this than anything across the board. The Facebook does do a little bit, but I would say Facebook is probably stronger overall for branding. So if you're trying to just make sure that people see your branding, make sure they're aware of the book, of the product, eventually they will cave. But you can't, like, I mean, as somebody who studies this stuff, I watch the metric, and very rarely does somebody come right from a Facebook video or right from a Facebook link that I dropped, or hey Pops, what's up, or right from or an ad. If you run an ad on Facebook, very rarely does somebody come from the Facebook side right to the Indiegogo, whereas it's very common they come right from Twitter or come right from YouTube. So
well, it's interesting you talk about the networking, and I mean, we've got everyone here has done the networking part, pushing the campaigns, networking, pushing other people's campaigns, hopefully everything gets reciprocated in this and that. I mean, how does one go about getting themselves involved in developing their network in the crowdfunding scene? And honestly, I'll open this question up to all of our guests tonight.
Yeah. Well,
the guest host.
I would say the first thing is find channels that do promotion. I do promotion on my channel. In fact, I was doing a promo stream right before this one, and I promoted Mark Polton and a couple other books that I just recently stumbled across. One thing that I do that I find that's helpful just to the community as a whole is I actually go out and I try to find creators that need help promoting their books. They're not very good at it, and I try to bring them on, and help them, get some momentum if I can. But at the same time, find people like me who will go out and help you get introduced. because that's the only way to do it. Because you can go on Twitter and you can be like, hi, look at me, I'm on Twitter. People are going to not really see that. You might get a few people that'll follow you back or whatever, but it'll take a long time on that. If you can get on some of these channels where maybe it's 5 people watching, you know what I mean? But that'll be 5 more people, and then you'll make friends with people on the panel, you know, and then when the word kind of gets around a little bit, and and I recommend you start doing that now. Don't wait until your book's done. Start doing that now, because it's going to take a long time. I mean, I've been doing this. I've been doing this a year and a half. You know what I mean? And I can't, you know, demand the super high numbers, you know what I mean, or anything like that. You know, I am blessed to get a fulfilled campaign. I look at what I'm able to pull off against what the general person's able doing on Kickstarter, and a lot of people do on a thing. And I mean, right now I'm up my first 30 days, and I'm only at 3,900. You know what I mean? But I got to take that into measure, because on my last campaign, I had, you know, like almost 90 people take the executive producer thing. So all those people back chapter 2 ahead of time. You know what I mean? Right. And so these are all new people, or people that only back chapter 1 on chapter 1. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's a difficult game. I took on an extra challenge doing it this way, you know? And so, but at the same time, I know that I'm hitting new people. I need to find new people. I need to introduce people to Captain Love. And it gives me that fire under my butt, like I did on the first campaign. And the truth of the matter is, this campaign is doing a lot better than the first campaign was. You know what I mean? And the first campaign was a finished graphic novel, 72 pages. You know what I mean? So obviously people who know me are knowing I'm going to deliver. They can trust what I got going on. You know, this is the kind of thing that helps people build their momentum. But making friends, like Pops, guys like Pops. Yeah, Pops has a show. He'll put people on. There are so many groups on Facebook. Those are great for networking. I would say that the Facebook groups are better for networking than, you know, maybe Twitter is, as far as networking goes. Like, you'll meet more people and be able to interact with more people that way. However, again, not for promoting comics. I mean, you'll make friends that way who you might be able to get on their stream. They may come on your stream or whatever. And, you know, and they might share once in a while. But the Twitter is, you got to do them all. Just you know, I'm like, you can't pick one and not do the others. You can't neglect any of them. You got to be on Facebook. You got to be on you got to be on Twitter. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. It helps to comment on the chat. So I recommend setting one up. But you don't have to broadcast on YouTube. But a lot of people have said you got to build your whole following on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, there's people who've made a whole lot of money on their campaigns. They don't even speak English, and they don't even go and make appear themselves on YouTube. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's that one? That Thomas Moya now one? Was that what it's called? That one's doing really good, and the guy's not even doing any promotion, except he's just posting the heck out of his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then other people are helping him promote, because he's got friends in the community. You know what I mean? And that's what he's a talented artist, and it's amazing line art. So it's got good stuff going on. So
yeah. Now for Andy and Graham, you know, coming from mainstream, right? You know, you obviously have come from mainstream, and then now adapting into you know, the independent comic scene. As far as crowdfunding's concerned, with the you know, Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I mean, how do you guys look at your marketing strategy? Do you find that a lot of people, because of your history and what you've worked on, want to actually help promote your work?
Andy, do you want to take that first, or?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, that's one of the good parts, is having a lot of friends, you know, in the industry that I've, you know, met and, well, become friends with over the past 30 years. So one of the things I'll do is I'll just shoot out messages or emails, you know, not a group one, but just, you know, privately to people, and be like, hey, would you share this and stuff? So I think it definitely helps out. I assume, Graham, probably the same thing, you know, and you have more contacts. Well, you've been doing it longer than I have in the business wise, so you just build up the professional contacts and stuff. But I mean, same thing, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, posting out there.
I don't find that colleagues share as much.
Yeah, they do.
I think that's the reality. Is that you send it. I do it cursory, send it out to fellow artists, writers, that type of stuff. But that's not my target. The target's the fan base, because the writers and artists are not good at that. Most of them are horrible businessmen in the first place, and they don't really understand the concept of how this all works. So, I target the fan network more so than I do any professional networks.
I have a question for you guys. And I don't mean to take over your show or anything else.
By all means. It's an open
I do an
forum.
interview show myself, so it's like, I have questions. You guys are well-known names. You know what I mean? You guys are like not nobodies. I mean, I could go to my comic book store, drop your guys' names, and they'd be like, "You talk to," you know what I mean? You guys have names. So, what kind of effect do you guys do? I mean, you guys could have some benefit from, like, say, a PR people, right? Like going through the main like mainstream comic book resources and these websites and rags and stuff like that. I mean, wouldn't they be interested because you're a well-known name?
I'm not sure what you mean by the marketing resources or rags.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of magazines online and in print that
Newsarama, CBR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've sent press releases to them all, and and you could look at it. Not many of them actually cover it.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They cover mainstream. They don't cover any of the crowdfunding stuff.
Well, they'll cover like Keanu
Pretty good
Reeves.
for me about covering indie comics. Really, sending them press statements has been really helpful for me, actually. So if you haven't sent to them, Indie Comic Showcase, and they're really active on Twitter.
Indie Comic Showcase? I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's real small, real tight audience. It's not really huge, but the people who are getting into that and reading their stuff are really involved. And so you get a lot of interesting stuff that comes across their sites, and their social media stays active with a whole collage of different talent. You might see Brian Pulido being retweeted one day next to Brian Hawkins, who's an absolutely incredible indie writer, and then the next day you might see Ryan Burke, who did Coronary, and then of course Holly Rawson, who did Boston Metaphysical Society. All these different folks who are really basically doing a good job about making sure their campaigns are fulfilled. Indie Comic Showcase is spinning that out.
Is that one word? Are they one word? Do they got a space in it? I'm just curious. I'm trying to.
Yeah, there's find them on Twitter too. Actually, you want me to send
Is that
you a
with
link
Rob
there?
Anderson?
Huh?
Is that the indie_comics on Twitter? Is that who
It
they are?
is. Let me pull it up. I'll send you guys a link to the Twitter. All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, because there's a couple of the indie groups that aren't too bad about
getting
the word out, publishing.
Yeah.
Some of them have news sites and things.
I like these other
Bleeding
episodes
Full.
later. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's
Bleeding
Indie
Full.
underscore comics, the Indie Comic Showcase.
So what's
Yeah.
it say again?
Indie underscore comics. on
Yeah,
Twitter.
I've been following him and he follows me. I'm surprised that I haven't reached out to him. I need to do that.
Yeah, just shoot him a message because I just talked to him by email and by messenger earlier today because what they do is they send you a list of questions for you to fill out, and then that's the stuff that you're going to basically be addressing. So it works pretty well, and they've been really, really good about getting the word out on comics for me too.
Indie Comic Showcase. And this is on Facebook or Twitter?
That's on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
He follows us.
Is Indie spelled with a Y?
Here you go, Billy. Let me show you. Let me bring it up here.
Why don't you bring it up so we can just copy it?
Indie Comic Showcase over here on the Twitter.
What's it at?
It's at indie_comics.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's no showcase.
Oh, cool.
Check the private chat.
But
It's a fun little feature they have.
I've been
Comics Cavalcade.
really lucky about meeting some really talented indie folks, and it's been really great to share information and help cross promote everything together. Like Adam Watson out of Dark Slinger Comics out in Oregon, he did Ghost Assassin, absolutely wonderful book. Brian Hawkins is doing a lot with a lot of different companies at the moment. People have having him write stuff left and right. There's a really really talented fellow that I've been following his work a bit. Ryan Burke, he did Coronary. He's got a really great storytelling flair to him. And then of course Holly Rawson, and I know I'm messing her name up, but she did Boston Metaphysical Society. And Mike Shea, and being able to talk to folks and get pointers here and there, and then also find out who's looking for content on their streams and their YouTube channels, and talking with different people like, hey, I know this guy who has a YouTube channel, he needs some more content, cool. Or, hey, my buddy's stream needs someone on Outstanding, I can be there at 9:00, that kind of thing. Hustling to, make sure that you're making content for other people and also providing, information for folks. It's weird because like one of the strangest social media posts that I put out in the last week that got the most attraction and most activity and interest was when I put out to fellow creators about the postage going up on the 18th for the USPS. Yeah. And it's just, I knew guys who had campaigns running, and I talked to them before it was launched, and I was like, hey, you did make sure you calculated your postage, right? And they're like, yeah. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, they might not know that's happening. So I put it out, and one of the guys is like, oh crap.
That's my wife is killing herself because it goes up, and we didn't charge for shipping for domestic.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and that costs, we're doing great. We're closing on 195 total between our Kickstarter and Indiegogo. But I think if we had charged and we have 3,600 backers, if we had charged for shipping, even if it was $10 a person, that would have helped us so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been
$30,000. We would have been well over 200,000.
I'll tell you one thing I do regret, because I've had 12 successful Kickstarter campaigns since 2017, mostly RPG stuff. But one thing I hadn't done is I hadn't started like a account for postage discounts or anything. And so I finally went and broke down this year and started my stamps.com account. And I went and I looked at my numbers and I compared it to last year. And I would have saved $2,000 on shipping if I had just used, stamps.com.
Yeah, stamps. I recommend it to everybody. I mean, they charge $18 a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I save more than that just in a month on shipping. I actually haven't been shipping as much the last couple of months. There has been a lot of things that have happened, you know what I mean, that kind of thinned out the indie comics community buying people for a while. I don't want to get into any of the like online drama stuff, but it's just like a lot of people who were a little bit more open walleted, who were in the indie community, they went back to the LCSs. You know what I mean? They just did. But it is what it is. They'll come back, or there'll be new there'll be new indie fans. We just all have to keep plugging away, especially as us new little dudes. As little dudes, we have to get the brand out there. We have to tell people that we are here. And I don't know, any of you guys doing LA Comic-Con? I actually am. I got myself a booth, a small press booth at LA Comic-Con this year. It's in December. It's costing me a fortune, but I hopefully I'll be able to get my brand out there, so.
Not me. I think I'm going to do a local con in January. I'm going to do the Garden State Comic-Con in June. And beyond that, I'm still looking to see what the COVID impact's going to be. Where I work for the state government during the day, I'm under a pseudo travel restriction at the moment. So where I work for the courts, I have to restrict leaving the state unless there's certain criteria. So it's not quite like being under house arrest. It's more like a polite, please don't leave and get sick kind of thing.
Right.
But I like the people I work for, and
don't screw up the day job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to screw up the day job. It's what's letting me pay my artists and everything since I can't draw. So.
Oh, I know. I wish I could draw. I'd save so much money.
I know, right? Especially when you pay your people well. That's one thing I'm really proud of is the Kickstarter stuff goes to paying the people and paying them well. I mean, I don't think Alexia would be working for me for 3 years if she wasn't, being paid right.
Yeah. The last time I was on here, you guys tried to talk me into doing a Kickstarter. I actually considered it. I got some advice further that Captain Love would not be accepted on Kickstarter, but I actually will be doing another series soon that is not as a little bit more Kickstarter friendly. And I say that because you guys know that Kickstarter has a team of people that human make decisions on what flies and what doesn't, versus like Indiegogo, which lets you do whatever. And so this one will be more acceptable. And so I noticed that Kickstarter obviously has a much substantially 10 times larger audience that just does the browsing. Would you say that Kickstarter is overall an easier platform to use? I know that people have used both, and especially Billy. What would you say, Billy?
Well, we're not doing Kickstarter. We're going Indiegogo.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're
been a year, Drew. Come on.
Yeah, we're probably going to no, but it's my wife does it all, so she's the smart one that does. I'm like, let's just do this.
I know you did both at one time, and you made a killing
simultaneously, and it drove her to want to murder me. But it worked great. But I just think if we had one campaign, one platform, I think it also helps with the momentum. Because we have two campaigns that are rocketing, you know what I mean, that are doing so great. One did 70,000, another one is at 100, almost 125,000. If that was combined as one campaign, I think the momentum people will be seeing like, oh my gosh, look, they're already at 50,000.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so the momentum
winner.
Yeah, the momentum itself would have done all those things, like backing a winner thing. That's one thing I noticed also is like once your campaign hits a certain number, it jumps. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, I wish I had been able to hit that faster. You know what I mean? Because I mean I probably will get to that number. You know what I mean? But it's going to be fine.
Right here. Look at this.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Baby.
Look at this right here.
That's
and it's in demand. It's
so I think
in demand.
See the in demand. Now look at what Graham has done in demand. If we start when he ended his 30-day campaign, he was at almost $58,000, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that. Now he's coming on, $30,000 more in just being in demand while you're putting together the book. Right. It's tremendous. We did $58,000 in change on Indiegogo when our campaign ended. We only did a 21-day campaign, but we've since, I don't know what we've done since. We've done, well, we're over 100, and we're almost at 125,000 now.
Snow globes.
Graham, where'd you get those snow globes?
That's the key. That's the key to success.
Snow globes.
Snow globes.
Yeah,
where'd you get those made?
Well, I made them. I bought the snow globes empty at wholesale, and then I printed out the covers. They're two-sided, and then I put them in each one and signed them. And
how many bad boys you sell?
Wait, you really made them?
Yeah.
How many have you made so far?
I made 100.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we've sold, I think, 80.
It looks like nearly 3/4 of them. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Wow.
But yeah, and that's still up, guys. Again, another campaign to help share. Get out there, check it out if you haven't checked it out before.
It's not. I mean, it's numbers like that just make me want to cry. I mean, I know you're 30. You guys have been in the industry forever, and you guys are just amazing, well-known names and do a terrific work. It's just, I'm like, will I ever reach that kind of figure? You know what I mean?
But you know what? That isn't it. Because I did a Kickstarter campaign with Chuck Dixon, the two Bane creators, and we didn't raise $5,000 a few years back when we didn't know what the hell we were doing. So the name doesn't really carry you as far as you think. It's really all about reaching the audience.
Yeah.
And that is, you've got to get on these YouTube shows. You've got to find ways to beat the algorithms. Like Facebook, Facebook is bullshit. You can't get. Can I say that word?
Yeah,
you want.
Just said it. You have to circumvent the algorithms, because if you have 5,000 fans on your Facebook page, you'll only get 20% reached.
Yeah,
that 20%. it's usually the same ones that are always interacting with you anyway.
Right.
So 20%, every time you post your link, it's the same eyes are seeing it.
Mhm.
So what I did was I sent out direct messages, and I spent that first month it was up. My full-time job was promotion. So I sent links out, as many as I could before Facebook would shut me down, in Messenger to people, and I put their name in it, and I put the link in, and I just paste everything else. And that generated quite a bit of interest because people felt I was reaching out to them personally. And that's part of the whole crowdfunding experience is that interaction, that personal interaction that you cannot get with corporate comics. And if you reach out, and that's how you reach out to your customers that way, you'd be surprised how many people you can pull in.
Oh yeah,
and have fun doing it too. I mean, none of my campaigns have ever funded, to reach $10,000 yet. I've had, 3 years and a lot of different stuff I've done, but I've met a lot of cool people on the way. I mean, look at the company we're in right now. We're talking to Graham Norton. We're talking. I almost want to call him
Graham
Mr.
Norton.
We're talking to Andy Smith. We're talking to Billy Tucci and Niall. I mean,
Right.
this is amazing company to be keeping. If we were on the convention floor, we'd be waiting in line.
Yeah. And the thing too is that you've got a great direct connection to espouse on Graham's with the fans. There isn't a distributor in middleman. There isn't the retail that you deal with. It's a direct connection to the fans, and they hold you accountable. If you don't deliver, or if you screw them some way, they let you know, and they let it know publicly. So it really keeps you on your toes to be as professional as possible.
And build that list. If you've had a successful campaign, make sure you download that list and you keep building on it. And then you send out emails. You get like Contact or MailChimp or something like that.
Yeah.
You create events and send these out to people. And it just put links in there and encourage them and gives them teasers, gives them drawings and stuff, and make them part of it. One of the things that I've been doing successfully is that I update my backers every Monday. So every Monday they get a progress report and an update, and I get tons of response. We really appreciate how involved you are and how you're constantly updating us, so they know exactly where I am on the project, what page was finished last, what's been to the letterer, when they can expect everything, and they appreciate that, and that's building that personal client and creator connection too, that they'll come back for, because if you successfully do that in the first one, and then you launch your next one, just before you're ready to fulfill, or just as you're fulfilling, you announce the next one, and they're starting to get their stuff, man, bam, they're right on board.
Fan base is definitely the secret to crowdfunding. You know what I mean? And that I am 100% aware of. I am treating my customers like very, very well, and I'm out working my tail off trying to find new ones. That's the challenge for me, is the actual new people that I have to try and reach. That's where I am like, coming on shows like this and humbly like grateful and like so much, like the attention that we could put to Captain Love is like so special to me. You know what I mean? Even if it's just somebody like remembers it, they're going to say, oh yeah, I saw that book with on a show the same time as Grant Norland and Billy Tucci, just the association, you know what I mean? It seems kind of crazy, but from watching for the last year and a half, endorsement seems to be the leading cause of actual sales. Like whose fans you're in front of. You know what I mean? It's not just it's getting introduced to new fans. That's the trick.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's I mean, obviously these days, like EVS is probably one of the biggest platforms with the largest fan base that can be utilized, and so like some of you guys have been on EVS's show, so you know what can happen while you're sitting on EVS. If he wants to encourage his fans to buy your books, they will. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. I mean, you got to obviously, have something worth buying. He can't sell a turd. You know what I mean? But it's like that is what I've discovered to be the key thing. And so the secondary most important thing on that obviously is your fan base and building a fan base. But it's really hard when you're in my position and you're starting from the ground up. It is really difficult to build a fan base. And once the momentum starts, it starts to roll. That's the thing. That's my key reason for dumping all this money to go to LA Comic-Con is I'm going to go collect emails, right? Yeah. I might sell a few hundred books. That'd be great. I might make the cost of the trip and the booth back. I might make that back. But if I get thousands of email addresses, it'll be worth it. There's going to be 75,000 people there. If I get 2,000 email addresses, that'll be awesome. And I'm gonna have a way to I have several ways to collect email addresses while I'm there because that is my main goal. So hopefully I will benefit from that trip in a big fat way. You know what I mean? So
and that's the journey. All right, Mr. Nolan.
Good seeing you.
I've actually never been on a stream with you before. It's actually nice meeting you. I have a show that we do on Tuesdays. It's a very small audience, but if you guys want to talk about your books on my audience, I get actually a much bigger reach on Facebook than YouTube, but it's more than nobody, and it might be somebody who hasn't seen what you have. So if you're interested, it's the offers available. So
well, thank you.
Oh, great, thank you.
Great night, guys.
Good to see you, bud.
Awesome.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Graham. See you now.
Thank you for having me, Graham.
What
he's a nice guy.
That Graham is, huh?
He's a great guy.
What a great guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going too because I want to eat.
You don't need to eat. But hey, thanks again for coming on, and everyone, please, write down the list there. I mean, let's start. Get out there, check out. Andy Smith's First Man 1.2. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. He is doing it. He is bringing it back. He's gonna finish. The to be continued is here. So back it, share it, do whatever you can to get this book set and complete and out in people's hands, and then moved on over to Indiegogo to either be in demand or fund whatever we can do. But this has to get funded. I mean, this is gorgeous.
How far away is it from funded?
We're about
halfway.
He's over halfway. The goal is 8,800.
Mm-hmm.
So let's continue to share and do what we can. And while you're at it, make sure to head on over. Going live is going to be the 47 Furious Tales tomorrow. I'm just scrolling through. Unfortunately, I had to close the other link, but just to give you an idea of just how beautiful these books are.
Yeah.
Head on over. The link will be up. I had mentioned to Sam to please tag me once he goes live, because then we're just going to start blasting it.
Definitely will do. And we print through Mix'em also for the same reasons that Dr. Love is being printed there. Just absolutely stunning quality of the book materials. The color print comes out so wonderfully. And I have something to show off real quick too, because one of the things we've been doing is we're getting a lot of the stuff together already. So we've got our art prints. Half of our art prints are in already.
Nice.
We've got signed copies of the cover from the first printing of issue 1. We've got copy of the cover for issue 2, which is going to get signed by Alexia. The cover for the reprint of issue 1, where we sold out, that's going to be in 11 by 17. And then we're going to also do the Fernando Ruiz variant cover that we've got coming that should be done this weekend. Nick Capone's coloring that right now. And so that's on that same heavy cardstock that we use for all of our prints on those 11 by 17s. Niall, you've got that. You know how that
is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
firsthand. I can tell you guys, it's a beautiful quality book. It really is.
I'm already loving that artwork. So.
And Mix'em did those prints for us too. By the way, their print quality is outstanding.
Yeah, Mix'em is amazing. I've been using them for my other 2 books and all my posters, and they do. I mean, I have been in the print industry for over 20 years. You know what I mean? I know printing. And,
hey, Pops, what's up?
They do amazing print work. I've heard some people had some problems with them. Like I haven't inquired very much on the detail of that, but I haven't. I've gotten top-notch quality stuff from them.
Yeah, so. I've never had a problem with them. I had a shipment that was damaged of prints that I had shipped to Alexia to sign. She called me, sent me pictures of it. I sent it to them. we had replacements in her hands 5 days later.
Yeah, they're like that
cool.
too. Yeah, they actually because my very first book, my very first campaign, I told them that I wanted to get it done by Christmas and stuff like that. So I was like, I didn't know how long they were going to take. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I want to get done by Christmas. I want to get done by Christmas. And they were like, okay, you know what? We're going to hook you up. They got it to me in a week.
Yeah,
in a week.
Nice.
I mean, you know, I was like, holy crap, the whole order in a week. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
we had 3,000 of these printed for the second print run. We had 3,000 done. We got it in 6 days. They quoted 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that's great.
amazing, and the I actually I don't deal with just any sales rep. I actually deal with one of the owners when I get I get called, which is, I don't know if he does that to everybody or it's just because because I don't know how I draw that straw. You know what I mean? But it really feels good when you're talking to like one of the top dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Captain Love, Watermelon, I've backed over 100 Ego campaigns. Captain Love is in my top 5. I can't wait for it to catch on.
Oh, thank you, Watermelon. That just touches my heart in such an awesome way, man. I appreciate it. And you know what, Niall, Billy, if you guys have not seen this video, if you guys have not heard, you guys got to take 3 minutes and press that button.
Yeah, we will play that for everyone right now. I've been leery about videos because StreamYard has been having weird audio.
Yeah, the sound doesn't work.
It's echoing.
See, we got to mute.
Is it echoing now?
Yeah. I'll mute.
Hi, my name is Eash, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series.
Well, this is just a pickle.
Hi, my name is Eash, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I want to tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're gonna get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, it feels like the universe is caving in and you need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again, and you need love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. All right now. Now Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by Spade, who's a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in he cannot die, and it feels like the universe is caving in and you need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again, you need love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah. In this book, you'll get space pirates, sexy girls and science monks. There'll be bar fights, space battles, and a lot of awesome junk. There's nudity and violence and swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in, there'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again, there'll be love to the rescue. rescue. Captain Love to the 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 rescue.
Thank you for your time. Please back Captain Love and help me share this character with the whole world. And if you're not too busy, like and share this video and help me spread the love. Stay awesome.
Nice. That's a
I
whole
like that.
music
That's really
video,
cool.
man. That's a whole freaking music video. That's a first.
Well done,
That is a
buddy.
first.
Yeah, I noticed nobody had done that yet.
And there you go. You
know,
got another backer. You're now over 4,000.
Yeah. I know.
There you go.
I'm so stoked. There is less than $1,000 to the next stretch goal. That is doable. We can get there. We're on our way.
Fantastic.
Yes, you are.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show
you.
tonight.
Hey,
I really
now we
appreciate
got
it.
one more campaign to talk about.
Yeah, we gotta get Andy.
Oh, you didn't do Andy's?
I did do Andy's.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Ah,
Oh yeah, Return of the Warrior.
I do that
yeah,
one.
we're finishing up. We hopefully will be done by the end of the weekend.
Look
For
at
everyone's
that.
campaigns. If not, by next week, by Halloween.
Cool.
Fan.
So that's
Yeah.
the goal. I think Debbie packed up all the last of the Kickstarter stretch goals, and now we're just finishing up Indiegogo. I owe two more commissions, and I'll do those next week. I'm doing covers this week for Hikyo, and then I'll do my commissions.
Wow.
Awesome, man.
And then we launch Hikyo, the next book.
Yo.
And that book, I'm on page 36 of that book already.
That book's
Oh,
going to be
wow.
insane, people. I'll tell you right
A lot
now,
of
She
fun.
Return of the Warrior blew my mind. Billy's my friend,
Oh.
yes. But on a professional level, an artistic level, as an author, as a creator, blew my mind. The plot, the everything. It's fantastic. And
Let me add that
I've
secret
had
chat.
sneak
Hang on.
peeks of Hikyo. And the mother effer actually gave me goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. It gets better. You wait and see. Oh, my God. Me and Paris had a big conversation, a big
I
meeting today.
bet.
So-
I bet.
All right.
Fantastic, man. But
So
hey,
thank
guys.
you all for backing us.
Yes, back and share. Share everything you saw tonight. Back it and share. Hand your paychecks over, people. Make it happen. But thank you again, guys, for coming on. And before we go, everyone, please join us tomorrow night. We're going to be doing our second Women of Comics. This is a Pop XP panels presentation. We're going to have the lovely Deborah Tucci on, Francisco Polito, Trina Robbins, Amanda Connor, Joni Broza, Source Song, Krista Miller, and Vijaya Liar. I mean, this is
Iyer.
just...
Oh, you spell their name
Iyer.
with it's an I. It's Vijaya Iyer, not Vijaya Liar.
Then check the email you sent me, sir, because I copy and pasted it.
No, it's Iyer. It's not Liar. Are you gonna? Have to
I copy and pasted it. I'll fix
Can you
it.
fix it?
Anyways.
Now, is this
go-
the second time Trina's been on?
Yes.
Yes, this will be the second
Yeah,
time Trina's been on.
I think I remember seeing the one that she was on. That was a hell of a show, guys.
She's a
Yeah,
pistol.
she's cool.
So now we're gonna have
That
what it's
was,
like to
that
be a
was
woman
really
in-
awesome.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
comics industry, and you might just be getting some guys who just may be married to some of these women to be showing up too on the show,
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
or
very,
all of them.
very cool. All right, everyone. Well,
Just to-
thank you
just to
so
bring the
much.
margaritas, right?
Yeah.
I think I have to drink some wine or something. Yeah, and
Yeah, just to bring them their drinks.
yeah.
Bring the margaritas.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
anytime.
it. It's it's been an honor to share the time with Billy and Andy and Grant. I mean Niall, you're cool too. But you're not like a comic book legend.
I'm not them. No. I'm just an up and comer like
but
yourselves.
Niall does a
gentlemen.
lot for indie comics. I mean, for real.
Yes, he
Whether
does.
it's Facebook or Twitter,
Oh, he's a
Niall is
hustler.
out- He's out there really working it. So I appreciate him. It's just a really awesome thing.
Niall, one of these times you and I got to talk offline and see if there's things that you're not doing that I can tip you onto. So
That sounds good, man.
I'll tell you what, though, I
Appreciate
felt like a super nerd coming in today because you get in and I was like, oh, hey, Sam, I'm like, that's Andy Smith. I just stuttered for a second. Like, I knew he was coming, but I wasn't ready.
that. Surprise. But all right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in
Thank you,
tonight. We'll
guys.
see you
Thanks
all
for having
tomorrow
us.
night. Andy, thank you. Billy, it's
Oh,
a pleasure
thank
as
you.
always. Drew, thank you. And Sam. So we'll see you all tomorrow night. Everyone have a great night and good luck with your campaigns, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.